it. And so, people like Paris Hilton, people like Janae Aiko, yes, they might be rich, although not the same level of rich. This is something, executive director at MGM, this is something for the rich that are just building their homes. Let me continue to read. The sealed environment ends up providing protection from.
It's not for the rich. You can look this up. What's the best material for your home to be built in a high risk fire location? Okay. I don't like when people try to gatekeep knowledge and classify it as like only a certain kind of person should know this. No, you can look this up as long as you have the internet, as long as you have the Googles, you can look this up. Okay. So today, what material is best for you to build your home? So today we are going to go over this CERT manual. This is CERT, Community Response Team Basic Training Participation Manual, developed for National CERT Program, Federal Emergency Management Agency, Department of Homeland Security, Washington, D.C., developed by PerformTech Inc., Alexandria, Virginia. January 2011. If this has been updated since this video, 2025, I apologize now. I'm just posting this as a basic fire knowledge for anyone that is like freaking out and doesn't know what to do with the fire stuff. So I'm going to be looking to the side, reading this because I have not gone through this specific one. Hey, mama. My cat Stripey is here. If you hear my other cat, he's outside. Let me put on a better, and then you can skip this ahead. I'm going to put on a better microphone. The Samson, it's really good. I've been making YouTube videos for a little while, but today I felt called to share this because it's like not a lot of people know about fire safety. I myself am not that familiar with fire safety protocol. I skimmed through this when I did the training like many years ago. So let's make sure that I'm speaking into the right speaker. This is stuff I should have done beforehand, but I'm doing it now. You can totally skip this ahead later on. And my other cat is outside meowing. Lex Luthor, are you going to get inside or are you going to stay outside? What is the deal with you? Métese. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, we have a lot of pages to go through. A lot. I'm going to try to do like a little time stamp thingy at the end. Let me actually get a pen and paper to jot this down. So I don't have to rummage through it later on. It's a little koala. Another place that gets on fire all the time, Australia. Okay. So we are at Unit 2, Fire Safety, Utility, and Controls.
outdoor elements.
Cameras here, cameras here. You guys are gonna have to deal with me for a bit. Now I am jumping on to TikTok. Okay. And I'm posting this on YouTube. So this is on Unit 2 Fire Safety. Fire Safety. So I'm going to go between cameras. You guys are just going to have to deal with me doing that. Fire Safety, Unit 2, Fire Safety and Utility Controls. This is from the CERT CERT Emergency Response Program. In this unit, you will learn about fire chemistry, fire and utility hazards, CERT size up, fire size up considerations, port fire extinguishers, fire suppression, safety, hazardous materials. So in each one of these, you're going to learn about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is a 28 page on how to deal with fire safety and utility controls when it comes to fires. This is from the CERT Community Emergency Response book, Basic Training Participation Manual, developed for National CERT Program, Federal Emergency Management Agency, Department of Homeland Security, Washington, D.C., developed by PerformTech Inc., Alexandria, Virginia. As of January 2011, this is when I took the CERT program training in Whittier, California. So this is something that a program that California reaches out to the community every couple months, where they train you on what to do with these kind of disasters and disasters in general. So this book shows you how to deal with disasters, what to do with first aid, how to go about it, and how to run through like buildings that are demolished and triage and all that stuff. So for right now, I'm concentrating on Unit 2, Fire Safety and Utility Controls. This live is also going to be posted on my YouTube called Get Real with Eileen. The link is in my bio. If anyone who's interested who wants to watch this video later on because you find this helpful in any way, this is Fire Safety Hazard by CERT CERT Community Emergency Response Team. So this is basically just anyone in the community that's like a normal citizen like myself, who literally is not a firefighter. I'm not a police officer. I'm not like anyone of importance. This is something that you can know in case of these emergencies, what to do. Okay, I am slightly autistic, so I need to know what to do. I need to be prepared, and this is something that women usually are better at handling these kind of situations. No offense, men. So I like to know what the fuck is going on when it's happening, right? Oop, hopefully, I don't get in trouble for saying bad words. But in this Unit 2 safety unit, there are a couple things that we are going to go through. Fire chemistry, fire and utility hazards, CERT size up, fire setups considerations, portable fire extinguishers, fire suppression safety, and hazardous materials. This is some of the things we're going to go through. It is about 28 pages, Unit 2. Thirty-eight pages. 38 pages. Okay. Okay. I needed to get some water. So, this is, if you can see it, my TikTok people, I don't know if you can see it. Shit, I don't think you can. This is a backpack that they give you when you finish and complete the CERT Community Emergency Response Team program, available to you in nearby districts. I did this in the Whittier district in 2011, 2012, 2013. So around that time, I know someone who works in a lot of wildlife stuff, and he was like, Eileen, you need to take this CERT training in case that there's a crazy disaster or something that happens in Los Angeles, because we're still waiting for that big earthquake. And coming with that big earthquake is going to be, you know, a lot of mayhem, a lot of madness, a low amount of people who are going to work to help you, like police officers, firefighters, things like that. If you enjoy this live, please make sure to heart it so that it can be shared to other people, and so that more people can understand what to do with fire safety and utility controls. That's what we're talking about today. So they gave me this backpack in order to find dead bodies, girl, or something that happens to people. So I have a vest. I have a gloves to rummage through the buildings. I have goggles. They also gave me like a water bottle to use to drink water. There is a safety basic first aid kit, which I probably should have updated, and then duct tape. It also came with a flashlight and a bunch of other things, a light stick, matches, earplugs, a whistle, emergency survival blankets. So this backpack that they gave me for free for doing the CERT training definitely look that up in your area in California. This is a training that we do in order to prepare us for the big one and things like that. So I guess I should wear the hat since I'm going to be talking about this stuff. Let me take my cute little bow off so I can look more professional. They also gave me a flashlight in there, but I put it with all my camping stuff, so I should probably have put it back. And they actually put you through like a real life situation when you do the training, and everyone either pretends to be dead or pretends to be hurt, and there's one person in charge that tries to figure out, okay, this is what we're going to do, this is where we're going to put the people. And I'm pretty sure that's what allowed a lot of the people, you know, I heard that a lot of the people in the Pacific Palisades self-evacuated, and it was actually just normal everyday people that were helping them out. So okay, so we're going to do the fire safety, utility, and controls. First, we're going to start with fire chemistry, how fire occurs, classes of fire, because there's a different type, girl, choosing the correct means to extinguish each type of fire. Then we are going to go through I'm going to be writing. We are going to be going through fire and utility hazards, potential fire and utility hazards in the home and workplace, fire prevention strategies. CERT Size Up, how to conduct the continual data gathering and evaluation process at the scene of a disaster or an emergency. Fire Size Up considerations, how to evaluate fires, assess firefighting resources, and determine a course of action. Portable fire extinguishers, types of portable fire extinguishers and how to operate them. Fire suppression safety, how to decide if you should attempt to extinguish a fire, how to approach and extinguish a fire safely. Hazardous materials, how to identify potentially dangerous and materials in storage and in transit and in your home. So when we did the CERT training for this, we actually had to extinguish a fire and use a fire extinguisher, which, I mean, we all see it in our classrooms, we all see it in our buildings, we all see it, you know, a fire extinguisher in the corner in a building. But like, do you actually know how to use that? Like, in case there's a literal fire, do you know how to use that? I didn't know how to use that. I didn't know how to use that. So it's a good thing that I actually took this, because it showed me how to use it in case that there was an actual fire. Okay, introduction and unit overview. During and immediately following a severe emergency, the first priorities of professional fire services are life safety and extinguishing major fires. Okay, if you guys like this video, please heart it so that it can be shared with other people. This is about fire safety. They may be hampered by impassable roads, which is definitely what happened on Sunset Boulevard and also happened in the Palisades, because there's only a few roads in and out of those mountains. This is the northern side of Los Angeles. I am from Los Angeles. My name is Eileen. I am a Los Angeles native. And when you go up there, there's literally one road, one in, one out. Like, there's not very many roads, and they're very like just one lane in and out, you know. It's like the lane in, the lane out, and like the edge of the earth. There's not even really like side, you know, to drive around. So when people abandoned their cars recently, that's why they had to bulldoze the cars out of the way, because there was no real entryway, right? So this is why this is what it's talking about. They may be hampered by fire services, may be hampered by impassable roads, difficult roads to get through, weather conditions, inadequate water supply, and other inadequate resources, which is also what happened in the Pacific Palisades they ran out of water in some of the hydrants because the hydrants are only supposed to help out like one or two houses. These fires that are happening in Los Angeles right now is unprecedented. That means it's never happened before. This kind of crazy, insane hazard, which people have said, hey, this might happen, by the way, because of the winds, because of the temperatures, if there's not enough rain, because of the shrubbery that we have in the Malibu Mountains, Pacific Palisades Mountains, um, and because it's been so dry lately, we haven't really had any rain. That dryness, once, since we're in winter, once those shrubs die and they dry out, which a lot of them are invasive species because of the shrubbery that we have here, kind of like it's year round, but the invasive species dry up. And when they dry up, they're flammable. And so that's what happened. The flammable plants are the ones who caught on fire because they're not used to life out here in LA. Some of these transplants that we know out here. So if you're not used to the way it is out here, it's dry. There's not really a lot of moisture. There's a lot of wind in winter. There's no snow. You know, we go to the snow. We visit the snow. There's no snow out here that falls down here. We go to Big Bear and things like that. But the mountains out here, because they're not so high in elevation, they're kind of low. They grow a lot of shrubbery. And so that shrubbery is intensely flammable, extremely flammable. Okay, make sure to heart this video so that it can get more information, guys, to other people. Unit objectives for this whole unit of fire safety. At the end of this unit, you should be able to explain the role that CERT plays in fire safety, identify and reduce potential fire, describe the 9-step CERT size-up process. Conduct a basic size-up for a fire emergency. Explain minimum safety precautions, including safety equipment, utility control, buddy system, backup teams. Identify locations of hazardous materials in the community and the home and reduce the risk of hazardous materials in the home. Extinguish small fires using a fire extinguisher, which I saw a lot of people post up that they were actually using fire extinguishers and things like that to get rid of the little fires that kept popping up around their homes and things in the neighborhood, because of the embers. So because of the high Santa Ana winds, which we get every year, Santa Ana winds is just something like a phenomenon that happens in Los Angeles because of the mountain range and things like that. It creates, like, the hot and the cold creates like these crazy gusts of wind, which happen around this time of the year, January, February, March. And so these winds right now, plus the lack of rain, are creating an intense firestorm because of the dryness and, wind, fire, firestorm. So in this unit, unit introduction and unit overview, unit topics. This unit will provide you with the knowledge and skills that you will need to reduce or eliminate fire hazards and extinguish small fires. The areas that you will learn about include fire chemistry, fire and utility hazards in the home, workplace, and neighborhood. CERT size-up. CERT size-up considerations. Firefighting resources, fire suppression safety, hazardous material. At the end of this unit, you will have an opportunity to use a portable extinguisher to put out a fire. Role of CERTs. CERTs play an important role in the fire and utility safety. By extinguishing small fires before they became major ones, this unit will provide training on how to use an extinguisher to put out small fires, and how to recognize when a fire is too big to handle. As a general rule, if you can't put out a fire in 5 seconds, it is already too big to handle and you should leave the premises immediately. Preventing additional fires by removing fuel sources. This unit will also describe how to ensure that a fire, once extinguished, is completely extinguished and stays extinguished. This process is called overhaul. Shutting off utilities when necessary and safe to do so. This unit will review utility shut-off procedures taught in Unit 1. Assist with evacuations where necessary. When a fire is beyond the ability of CERTs to extinguish or utility emergency has occurred, CERT members need to protect lives by evacuating the area and establishing a perimeter. CERT priorities. CERTs may play an important role in the neighborhood and workplace fire and utility safety. CERT members help in fire and utility-related emergencies before professional responders arrive. This is just normal CERT, Community Emergency Response Team, is people in the community. So normal, everyday people in the community that are near this situation or happen to be there when a fire situation is happening. CERT members help in the fire and utility-related emergencies before professional responders arrive. When responding, CERT members should keep in mind the following CERT standards. Rescuer safety is always the #1 priority. Therefore, CERT members always work with a buddy, wear safety equipment, gloves, helmet, goggles, N95 mask, and sturdy shoes or boots. The CERT goal is to do the greatest good for the greatest number. So the first thing we're going to look at, I don't think you guys can see, okay, is fire chemistry. So right now we're moving on to fire chemistry. And this is all going to be on my YouTube, Get Real with Eileen. Fire chemistry 2755. Fire requires 3 things to exist. Heat. Heat is required to elevate the temperature of a material to its ignition point. Fuel. The fuel for a fire may be solid, liquid, or gas. The type and quantity of fuel will determine which method used to extinguish the fire. Oxygen. Most fires will burn vigorously in any atmosphere of at least 20% oxygen. Without oxygen, most fuels could be heated until entirely vaporized, yet will not burn. Most fuels could be heated until entirely vaporized, yet would not burn without oxygen. These 3 elements called the fire triangle, people, create a chemical exothermic reaction. That's what it's called, exothermic reaction. Fuel, oxygen, heat, create chemical reaction. Fire triangle, fuel, oxygen, and heat create a chemical reaction. Causes fire. Fire chemistry. Classes of fire. To aid in extinguishing fires, fires are categorized into classes based on the type of fuel that is burning. Different classes. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 classes of fuel, classes of fire. Classes of fire include Class A fires, ordinary combustibles such as paper, cloth, wood, rubber, and many plastics. Class B fires, flammable liquids, for example, oils, gasoline, and combustible liquids, for example, charcoal lighter, fluid, kerosene. These fuels burn only at the surface because oxygen cannot penetrate the depth of the fluid. Only the vapor burns when ignited. Class C fires. Class C fires. Class C fires. Energize electrical equipment, wiring, motors, things like that. When the electricity is turned off, the fire becomes a Class A fire. Class C, energized electrical equipment such as wires and motors. Class D fires, combustible metals, aluminum, magnesium, titanium. Class K fires, cooking oils, vegetable oils, animal oils, fats. It is extremely important to identify the type of fuel feeding the fire in order to select the correct method and agent for extinguishing the fire.